Welcome you all for the today's session on cloud computing infrastructure. In today's session, we are going to see about the introduction to the cloud infrastructure and the cloud infrastructure components, infrastructural constraints. So before going to the session, let us have a real-time example. When you upload a photo to your Google Drive or watch video on YouTube, you can think where those data are stored. So generally, your data are not stored in your personal computer. Instead of it, it is stored in large data centers that belong to the cloud providers. The best example for the cloud providers are Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So this cloud infrastructure, which includes services on demand. Your cloud computing works on services on demand. Services on demand is nothing but the user can access computing resources from any time, from anywhere through the internet. So with the help of an internet, you can able to access those data from anywhere and anytime. So the next thing will be your a cloud infrastructure. So your infrastructure is the backbone of all the services. It may be on software as a service, it may be on platform as a service, it may be on infrastructure as a service. Then your cloud infrastructure, which includes powerful servers, storage systems, network devices, virtualization technology, and management software. Your cloud infrastructure, which is used in private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, is providing your lower cost, flexibility, and scalability. So the definition of your cloud infrastructure is cloud computing infrastructure is the collection of hardware and software components that work together to deliver the cloud services such as computing power, storage, networking, applications over the internet. For example, your cloud infrastructure provides cloud services. For example, building, doctors, nurse, electricity, equipments, and management. These combinedly they are going to provide healthcare facility to the patient. So this is the best real-time example of the cloud computing infrastructure. Now we are going to see the different components of cloud infrastructure. There are three main parts of cloud infrastructure, namely computing, the next one will be your networking, and third one will be your storage. So computing is nothing but we are going to have some calculations, that is computation process. So here the computing process, it refers the server, the processor, and it is going to perform the calculation and execute the applications. The next one will be on networking. So networking is nothing but we are going to connect the user with the cloud. Okay, the resources through internet. We are going to access the resources with the help of an internet. Then they are going to it plays a vital role in communication between the server and the user. The third one will be a storage. Storage is nothing but it is going to keep your user files, your database. It is going to have some backup images and videos safely. So these are the cloud infrastructure components. The first one will be your transparency, scalability, security, and intelligent monitoring. So transparency is nothing but the user should know where their data is stored or which server process their request. So that is called transparency. So the second one will be your scalability. So scalability is nothing but the resources should increase or decrease depending on the user on demand. The third one will be your security. Your cloud should protect your user data using authentication, encryption, and firewall. The next one will be your intelligent monitoring. Intelligent monitoring means your cloud continuously monitor the server, applications, networks to detect whether there will be any failure and maintain the performance. So this is the diagrammatical representation of your cloud infrastructure components. So the basic components are network, server, storage. The next one will be your hypervisor, management software, and deployment software. The next important component will be your hypervisor. Your hypervisor, it is otherwise called as a virtual machine monitor or manager. The main job of hypervisor is to create and manage the multiple virtual machines on a single physical server. Okay, one physical server can host multiple virtual machines each serving a different customers. That is, each and everyone is going to provide a services to the different customers. Okay, so the best management software. So management software, it helps to maintain and configure the infrastructure. So deployment software, it helps to deploy and integrate applications on the cloud. So network, it is going to provide you the cloud services over the internet. Server are used for computing. Storage is used for storing and extracting the data. So this is the infrastructural constraints. The same transparency, scalability, security, and intelligent monitoring. So intelligent monitoring plays a vital role in the cloud infrastructures. Let's see an real-time example for this cloud infrastructure. You can consider a shopping mall. Okay, the shopping mall contains your building. That entire building is called as a data center. You can assume it's a data center. The next thing is electricity keeps everything running, like for example, so the power supply. The third one will be your roads connecting the mall. So what are all the roads that are connecting the mall? That is will be called as a network here. Then elevators, so there will be a lot of elevators will be there, so that elevators will be called as a virtualization here. Then there will be a security guards will be there in each and every floor, so those security guards will be called as a security system. The next one will be your mall management, so the each and every person for cleaning and everything, so those things will be compared with your management software. Then there will be shops will be there, there will be multiple shops, those shops will be called as an application. So the entire thing is the customer is going to enjoy the entire shopping mall. They are not going to bother about the what is the data center, how the building is kept, and what is the electricity power. They didn't know about the conditions of the elevators, etc. The another real-time example is the users are using your Gmail, Google Drive, AWS, or Azure. So without worrying about how the server is performing, what is the name of the server, and what are the resources it is going to access. So without knowing everything, just they are going to using those applications. So they are the cloud infrastructures. The characteristics of cloud infrastructure include scalable, flexible, highly available, reliable, secure, and cost effective. The advantages are we have no need to buy expensive hardware, highly availability and reliable. Automatic backups are also done in cloud infrastructure. There will be reduced maintenance for users. The disadvantages are it requires a stable internet connection, service interruptions can occur, storing sensitive data may arise, there will be privacy concerns, organizations have less direct control. So these are the summary of your cloud computing infrastructure. They are going to manage only the virtual machines. These are the references of today's session. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you.